Hello and welcome to the Connection Couch. My name is Reg.
And I'm Jo.
Today we're talking about LinkedIn stories versus video posts. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm going to put this over here. So Jo, as you know, there's two types of videos that you can use on LinkedIn.
That's right.
One being LinkedIn Stories, which is 20 seconds in duration maximum.
That's right.
Has a lifespan of about 24 hours.
You are listening to a training, Reg.
And is basically mobile only, is that correct?
Mobile only for viewing.
For viewing.
And creating. There are hacks to see on desktop, but we'll come to that.
We can come to that.
We can come to that, yeah.
Which is versus video posts, which are 10 minutes long, can be about anything, has audio. Mm-hmm. What else can we say about them?
They have longevity. They don't disappear in 24 hours.
They don't.
They sit in the home feed. Stories don't even hit the home feed.
No.
Stories hit the app. So should we go into the different, like what the difference, but what they actually are to start with?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'd be interested to know, are you using stories on LinkedIn? They're a fairly new feature. They were rolled out mid-year for Australia, and they're rolling out across the globe. So you probably have it, and to see you've got it on the mobile app, at the very top, you'll see your face plus story. Now, if you've got company pages, there's stories there too.
Oh.
But I'm not loving them in company pages, but and if you look at other people's stories, you'll see them you sort of slide across like a carousel. Now, I've got 50 billion pages admin.
50 billion?
50 billion, yeah. So I don't see people's stories because I've got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So I miss them. So you can probably feel how I feel about stories and the value right now because of, the way that they're viewed. So stories, there's many ways you can create stories, but they only last for 24 hours anyway. So you want to be really strategic about the effort you put in and the purpose. Because if you spend a lot of time planning your content for a piece of content that's going to
disappear.
Poof! Do you like that? I like that. Like the genie on Bewitched. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know the name. No idea. Does the genie... Oh, the genie is Genie.
She heard, yeah.
Genie, that's her name, isn't it?
I think so.
Genie the Genie? I don't know. Her anyway. Comment below if you know her name, if it's not Genie.
I can see her face, but anyway, moving on.
So they disappear. So if you're going to put a lot of editing effort and, into your content strategy, just think about where it fits in. So they do disappear in 24 hours. You can download them. So
okay.
if you do create something special...
Where does it fit in? Where do stories fit in?
Well, stories... Now, we've talked about stories before in a bit more detail, but stories are the stuff that's not newsfeed worthy.
It's
not feed worthy. So on LinkedIn, you don't want to be sharing 5 posts a day in your feed. That's too much noise. And you don't get seen anyway. So stories are the stuff, the in-between, the filler content, the behind the scenes, the what's going on. We might share a story about us setting up our shoot.
We should have done that, shouldn't we?
We should have done that. We can do it for the next one. That sort of stuff.
That's a
but
good idea.
You've got to keep in mind that you post it. So we post it now. In 24 hours, it's gone.
Yep.
So it comes down to, just being. You can't be too sort of caught up on the analytics around them.
Is that not a bit too frivolous for LinkedIn? Stories?
Yes and no.
Reels, whatever you want to call them.
Well, Reels...
That's the YouTube version. TikToks.
Yeah, well, Reels is Instagram. Now, LinkedIn Stories, if you're creating... we're talking specifically video.
Sorry, I'm thinking they do have a name for it on YouTube. Anyway, keep going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even look at them. I don't look at stories on any other platform anyway. I don't love stories, but I've been giving stories a good go on LinkedIn because it's LinkedIn and I test a lot of features. I'm not consuming them though because, like I said, company pages get in the way. But if we talk about just the video component of stories, because we've got a video link over there, wherever that place, about our full story video. But in terms of video content, so 20 seconds at maximum, so you can't say a lot. And you've also got to think about your audience. Are they listening to your content on a mobile app? Depends what you're consuming. So if I'm sitting at my desk by myself, I might be okay putting the speaker on because I can see someone talking. If I'm on a train or I'm in an office with people, I'm not going to be putting on the speaker. Or I'd have to get my headphones in, unless it's something really interesting.
It's a story, probably not.
No, so I wouldn't be focused on what you're saying. I would be communicating energy. Now, I've got something to share just because we were just talking about this before. So Instagram's now got Reels, and one of the Reel type video frameworks they're using are these stupid point here, point there.
Right.
I'm saying stupid, clearly I'm giving away how I feel about them. Point. Now, you could do that on LinkedIn Stories because then you're not reliant on the audio. You're pointing to things, and where the pop-up is, maybe there's a name of, I don't know, an event or a product or a service you could be pointing to. So you could do it, but you can also annoy your audience because it looks a bit Instagram-esque and it's a bit too frivolous, as you just said. So it's got to match your brand, it's got to match your audience. But those types of videos you can't create in LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't have the ability, so you have to use an external tool. Now, if you're already using Instagram, you could download your story from Instagram and upload it to LinkedIn. So that's how you can get a little bit more creative, or you could use a tool like...
Snapchat?
Actually, yeah, Snapchat. I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, absolutely Snapchat. Snapchat, you can do a whole heap of things. I mean, I don't use Snapchat other than using it as a video creation tool because it's quite...
Well, it's got all the filters and stuff on it.
Yeah, to make a point.
It can be fun.
You could find something there. But I was going to say a tool like Canva or Wave or any of the other quick video type creation tools that you can use. But if you aren't going to be putting sound into it, what's your tip for that, Reg?
For sound, probably not, is my honest answer.
Yeah.
Definitely no talking, maybe music.
So would you, some words on screen maybe? Could that be helpful?
Text on screen would work, yeah. You could definitely get your point across. I wouldn't necessarily point to it.
No.
Subtitles, well, you're not going to be speaking, so you don't need subtitles. Captions is nothing really captions worthy.
Caption worthy, that's the thing.
Captions are really like stage directions for the...
Yeah, okay. But it could be like, say you're talking... I mean, if you're talking about a tip, so this is where they're not going to work. If you're sharing a tip about how to do something in your industry, no one's going to listen to it. So if you created some moving images, and now whether they're called videos or not then is a different whole thing, but if it's a little video of you doing something and then there's a couple of words about the thing you're doing, and then the next story video is the next thing you want to share, because you can create a whole series, right?
That would be probably the best way that I can see to actually make stories work for you, to actually have them in some sort of sequential order where they actually individually are interesting, but over the whole thing they tell a story or they get a point across. Just doing a story for the sake of doing a story and doing a funny dance, don't see the point. Yeah, so I've seen some brands do this. So BHP did a series of stories. This is a short while ago, and if we can link to them somehow, I will do. Not because you can't actually link to them because they're gone, but I've actually got it downloaded. But they had a series of introducing their staff. So they had some video footage of someone in high-vis on an oil rig, someone else in the computer room. So there was audio. That was the only probably negative about this is there was no words on screen to communicate what was being said. Yeah. But you didn't need to actually listen to them speaking. You got a sense of what they were doing anyway. And then at the end, it had a sort of, not a call to action, but a close of that sort of sequence. So you could create a series of content. That would work. Yeah. But then I'd be downloading that and probably repurposing it as something else. Now, let's talk about repurposing video content from stories, because story content, because it's viewed on mobile, mobiles are vertical. So this is probably the only place on LinkedIn that you'd be recommended to use vertical video, I'd say. Correct,
right,
yes.
Yeah, so if you're going to download and repurpose it somewhere else on LinkedIn, is that going to work?
Well, not if you upload it as a vertical video. If you wanted to sort of change it about, change the aspect ratio, you know, add tops and or add sides or whatever it is you want to do, tops and bottoms, to make it fit into even a square video or a normal.
So you could crop it maybe into a square if it was croppable.
Yeah, croppable. But then you get into the whole issue of, you know, it's not exactly shot for that platform, if you know, for that purpose. Yeah. So you're taking a vertical video, making it horizontal. There's compromises there somewhere. Yeah.
So let's now talk. I mean, first before I move on, I mean, you could download it to use on another platform, like if you're using Instagram or I don't know any of the other story tools. You could then repurpose it that way. Now let's compare. So we talked about stories, and we're going to compare to posts now. So in terms of video posts, what do you recommend there, Reg? Now we've mentioned 10 minutes.
Okay, the maximum is 10 minutes, but that's definitely I wouldn't be going 10 minutes. Live video is a different story. We're not talking about live videos here. But post videos, I would always recommend 90 seconds, essentially. People are not really going to give you much longer, I don't think, on your newsfeed. Unless it's something they're really into, or else some sort of niche that's, that's
like our show.
Like our show, exactly right, our content. So keeping it nice and short, trying to educate or entertain is always a good idea. If you can do both, even better. And be consistent.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue.
Consistent with what? With timing, with like
Publishing.
how it looks?
Publishing. Across the board.
Yeah.
You obviously want to try and have your videos look good, but you can improve. If you want to improve the look of your video and spend some money perhaps on your equipment or extra time on actually producing it, then by all means improve the content that way.
Yeah. Now, video posts, I mean, we've talked about stories 24 hours and then poof, disappear. That sounded really weird, didn't it?
I think it's just the poof bit that's the weird bit. Anyway.
I don't know. Moving on. Clearly, I wanted to be a genie or not a genie.
Moving on.
One of those persons. So the post video has longevity. Like it's indexed, and while it will fall off the feed eventually, it's always there. You can find it.
You can always come back to it.
Yeah.
Like resurrect it by putting a comment in there or something to try and get it back into that feed.
And to search for videos, I mean, if you use a unique hashtag to your brand or to that theme of conversation, then you'll find it anyway. And and if you've got on, I mean, I don't know if people have this turned on, but I do. It's old school. Every time I post a video on LinkedIn, native video, I get an email saying your video is uploaded. Now, a lot of people turn off these notifications because they're annoying, but I have it set, this is a bit of a hack, I have it set so that it goes filtered off into my folder for LinkedIn videos, purely so I can find all my videos easily, because LinkedIn doesn't have a feed for videos yet. So there's that. Now, the other hack with LinkedIn video is there's the featured section of your profile. You can pin or highlight a post. So if you did a video about, I don't know, maybe it was how to change a light globe in your electrician, for instance. And that's something that you often get asked, and you want that sort of featured on your profile, you can feature that post. So it's there, top and center.
Like a pinned post.
Kind of like, yeah. So it gives it even more longevity than the fact that it's in the home feed. It's there for people to find.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. So essentially, let's boil down the benefits of both here. So LinkedIn Stories is good for again building your brand and your personal brand or your business brand. Because it is the behind the scenes stuff. It's the casual, friendly, get to know me type of stuff. But I think the best way to take advantage of that is actually plan it out and have a series rather than just a one-off, because it becomes opportunistic, doesn't it? Oh, I'm just here doing something, you're here with me, let's just do a story, rather than actually having planned out and go, well, this one I'll talk about this one I'll talk about that. And short-lived, but consumable on the mobile.
And also the bonus of having a sort of episodic type of story means that the viewer is on your story for longer. Because once they've seen it, and they go to the next one automatically, they just sort of keep progressing. So they stay on your content in stories, which is good for the algorithm in terms of, they're likely to see your stories again in future. Now, if you're doing spasmodic here and there, people are interested in your story, but then you don't share one for months, they're unlikely to see it. But if you've got a regular, if you're creating a regular sort of feature that you're doing, then that might bring them to your content.
Well, absolutely. It's the way the algorithm works, isn't it? If you're putting out content and people like it, then the algorithm's going to say, right, people like your content, let's push it out to more people.
Yes. Now, we've got a bonus tip. We didn't need to say, we forgot to say at the beginning.
We forgot to mention it.
Yes,
anyway.
we'll put that.
But if you're here, well done. You got the bonus.
So the bonus tip with posts, a post video, I should say, is that a video and document posts, which are a completely different type of content, which we've talked about previously, and we've probably got a video on document posts, which we'll link up here. So with video posts, if people start to watch your video, now you've got to hook them in the first few seconds. So if you start faffing on saying, well, hi, I'm Joe, and this is Reg, and blah, 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 and is it a nice day? No one cares about that. You got to get straight to the point and then unpack whatever that is. I said unpack.
You did. Well done.
I know. Tick the box. Yeah, no, we've only just got going. But if you can hook people in and get them watching, and a watch in terms of analytics, if they watch 3 seconds, that's considered a view on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Which, that's all they give you. You don't know how far they watch into the video. But if they keep watching, you're going to be rewarded by them seeing your content in future, because the algorithm update rewards based on dwell time. So if people stay on your content for longer, then they're going to potentially see your content in the future. And video is a way to keep them engaged, keep them dwelling on you.
Yep.
So the more interesting you can be, the more likely they are to dwell.
Excellent. There we go.
Yeah.
So video definitely has a purpose. It definitely has benefits. You just need to sort of get your head around how it will work better for you.
That's right. So tune into one of our videos where we're going to be talking about how to get started with video, how to get going, what equipment, and we've done interviews like the interview we did with Holly Ann, link above.
Excellent.
Where she talks about how she went from being quite scared of video, and she's quite shy naturally as a person, but she's very confident on video and she's got some great opportunities. So have a look at her interview.
Excellent. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate it. Stay tuned for next week. We'll have more content. There's probably a video on screen right now. That's the video you need to watch next. That's bye from me. Thanks for watching.
See you there.